How to Create a Glitch Monologues Season 42 Chapter 8. This is Episode 8 of How to Create a Glitch in the Matrix Monologues Season 42. In this episode, we will be talking about the quorum of an archetypal plate of consensuality. Insular archetypal, generally familial closed social systems, produce archetypal plates. These archetypal plates incorporate the dialogues of the nine plates into a uniform consensual system, which overrules the objectives of minority members. The methodology of familial cannibalization, preferential expectation matching, rationalization of the behaviors of social system members, means that rationalization systems which are not consensus are deconstructed and behaviors re-rationalized. The quorum of an archetypal, generally familial plate system, is the central governing authority within that familial system. It generates an insular rationalization system of members through consensus, producing a corresponding consensual system within that familial group. This means that minority individuals are rationalized and authored according to in-group language, which excludes them from the decision-making process within that archetypal structure. The generation of a rationalization system through one's experiences, the self-attribution of given behaviors, requires the preservation of that rationalization system according to the decontextualization narrative. But, if that narrative is broken down, deconstructed, and re-rationalized according to the prevailing in-group's language, it undermines the structure of the narrative so produced. In other words, the decontextualization narrative generates rationalization of behavior. But the ability of this decontextualization narrative to propagate requires that its narrative structure remain intact. Individuals within the quorum devote their unconscious processes to deconstruction of the decontextualization narrative according to prevailing quorum rationalizations. Now, a quorum is essentially the closed social center of the archetypal plate. It comprises, generally, the majority of the eldest generation. As they maintain the greatest degree of ancestral memory, they possess the ability to calibrate system members to the greatest degree. When there is consensus, this consensus generates a prevailing consensuality within the archetypal plate, which is the closed social system. When this consensuality excludes a decontextualization narrative, this means that that narrative is re-rationalized according to insular internal language. In plainer language, the nine dialogues become expressions of the deconstruction of the decontextualization narrative and formation of consensus for the underlying consensuality of the group. Individuals' ability to generate new narratives is restricted and undermined by the re-rationalization of their behavior according to conventional narratives. Gatherings of the archetypal plate represent opportunities for the imposition of the authority of the quorum to circumscribe the consensualities of system members. This circumscribing is ultimately determined by the reinforcement of behaviors and propagation of narratives underlying these behaviors within the group. Generally, the system member with the greatest experiential overlap deconstructs the decontextualization narrative. Once this is complete, the re-rationalization process according to prevailing narratives ensures some degree of conventionality within the nine dialogues. That's the end of the podcast for today. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment and subscribe.